Girl! Slay the house down boots, mama.
Now that was a bad choice.
Right. No. Don't try to change the subject. Spill the tea.
Okay, but what was she expecting?
Well, that bitch is crazy.
Honestly, Papa,
We should have talked first.
can you blame her?
She should probably drink a little less. Literally.
Well, let's get into it then.
It's time to spill the tea with Damen B.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Spill the Tea with Damen B and Gigi.
Hi everyone. we were off for 1 week, Damon.
I know, we
Not
were
a
off
year.
for 1 week, and I had a brain fart doing that introduction.
And you're already forgotten everything.
I'm like, who am I? Who are we?
Yeah. What is happening? Why
What?
are we here?
Well, I had a seizure, so I'm just kidding.
And I'm thinking nobody really missed us last week. You know,
No,
there was
'cause-
nobody clamoring for where's our
Well, no-
podcast?
No one reached out. I was looking at my phone the whole time on Tuesday.
The whole
I
time.
thought, okay.
Somebody, one person.
No, I did receive a mug in the mail that says "Ask me about my podcast," which
Oh,
really
you should carry that everywhere.
I should. It is on my kitchen table, and
Yeah, you should take that outside, walk with it.
right everywhere. I know I need a shirt. I need a shirt that says
Yeah,
"Ask me about
yeah.
my podcast."
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so today we're talking about villains and
Dun dun dun.
dun dun dun. From real life villains to like Disney villains. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of villains, you know who's calling me? Your daughter.
What a villain.
Voicemail.
I'm just thinking I should turn my phone down
Right? I
before it
called her.
starts ringing.
So sometimes I think I'm the villain because, like, I called her and she didn't answer, right? So the answer machine was like, "Please leave a message after the beep," and all I said was "bitch," and then I hung up.
That is villainous.
Right? That's what I thought. Am I the villain?
Maybe in
Maybe.
that scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what do you think? Like, where does your experience with villains? Are you a big fan of movies like that, or
So
do you take the villain side?
I rarely take the villain side. I think the first villain that I knew of was Ursula the Sea Witch from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And then I was gonna say my mother, but that's so mean. Oh my
Oh, goodness.
No, she's not a villain.
Oh.
But no, I don't take the villain side. I don't even like. I thought I would like TV villains, the ones who create the drama and stuff, but I really don't like. Maybe I like the background villains where people will throw like a little bit of shade, a little bit of that. I'm thinking of RuPaul's Drag Race in particular, and there's
Oh,
some
okay, yeah.
girls who go in to be so nasty and they want to be the villain, but I don't know. It comes across like I don't like you.
Well, there is a show. I don't know if you've watched it, Dexter. Have you ever watched that?
No, I
Okay.
have not.
And he is a serial killer that you quite fall in love with. So, but he is a killer. So, is he the villain? But he only kills people because he knows, and his father figured out early in life that he was going to be a serial killer or had that in him. So his father taught him to only kill bad people. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he is. Sorry if I blew that up for anybody. I'm sure, like, Dexter's pretty old, although they did
Yeah.
come out with one new season. Anyway, it's hard to dislike him because he's actually ridding the world of really awful people, but yet he's a murderer.
You know, it's kind of like the Saw movies. You know, Jigsaw the puppet. He only kills bad people.
Oh, I've never watched
Oh.
this because I just cannot watch horror movies. I can't do it.
Okay. Well, that's a villain I like.
Mhm.
that I relate to. Just kidding.
Okay.
Um,
I do I do understand he makes people do things to themselves or I don't know what, but so
yeah,
that's
no,
something you can
it's a bit
relate to?
extreme.
Yeah.
I was just playing. I was just playing,
Oh,
y'all.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but okay. Let me ask you a question. Who is your favorite Disney villain?
Favorite? See,
Yeah.
I've always been very empathetic. So even from a little child. So I've always been quite afraid of the villain. So I don't know if I have a favorite. Outstanding.
Okay, who is the most scariest then? Who are
Yeah.
like
Um, like I'm trying to think back to the Disney, I should have looked this up before. um, who's the one with the apple? The old witch,
Snow White, and that's
Snow
like the
White.
evil queen. That's the
Yeah,
evil
so
queen.
so the evil queen, and is that where she looks in the mirror, mirror, mirror on the
Yeah,
wall? Who's the Yes. I
yeah.
would say her.
You know what? That one did give me nightmares. Just the old lady.
Mm,
And you know what I found? It's the music that they play when the villains come out. If there was no music, it's way less scary. You put
yeah.
Scooby Doo on mute, and it's a lot less scary.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They do work on that music quite a bit to get you all frightened. The other villain is the hunter that shot Bambi's mom, right?
I guess that's a
Villain,
villain.
villain,
Yeah.
villain.
Vil-
Yes. Sorry, hunters, but not Bambi's mom.
Not
Uh,
Bambi's fucking mom.
Mom. That was just horrible.
So
Yeah, that was very traumatic.
I don't remember much of Bambi. I'm gonna be
Did you watch
honest.
it?
I think once or like
You're really
twice.
old. I don't really get the thought process behind Walter Disney. I really don't in a way. That like that queen, the evil queen, she was quite scary to a little, you have to think you're a
Yeah.
little kid. And then the hunter who shot Bambi's mom, like literally that's like you're a child and you're watching another child's mother get killed. Really? I mean,
Yeah. I don't.
in
I.
essence, because the cartoon characters take on like human emotions and whatever. So you're really that's what you're watching. So I don't I think Walter Disney might be the villain.
So now here's another side of the perspective here. What if he made that knowing these kids are gonna feel this immense like upsetness or whatever to make them not be hunters when they grow older? You know? What if they're like
I don't think he did that because I would probably think that Walter Disney did his own share of hunting. What I do think he was doing, which I hope he was doing, not taking joy from children's fear, but teaching children that these things will happen. Things
oh,
happen in life and you have to sort of get over them or figure it out.
probably. Yeah,
I
that
think
sounds
that was the
better.
lesson, but it's pretty extreme.
It
I don't know,
was.
do we go that extreme now with kids? Like, I
I
think
don't
it was a
know.
little bit abusive.
We don't know. Okay. So
Okay,
my
you
favorite
remember in The Lion King when the dad died? Same sort of scenario.
there was actually a lot of
And the
death in
uncle
like
killed
Disney.
him. Yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
family was killing each other and
But that was just preparing people for life. That's every family, you know, like
everybody's killing each other.
yeah,
Okay, maybe in some families.
maybe. Okay, so my favorite Disney villain, I would say Maleficent, and it's because of the movies with Angelina Jolie that told the story from Maleficent's perspective. Yeah.
Is Maleficent the evil queen?
She is the
I
evil
never
queen.
comprehended that. I was out of Disney by then. I just so she's the one who gave the apple?
No, 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 no.
No.
She's the mistress of evil. She's the one that turns into a dragon,
Oh,
and
yes. I was
yeah.
very afraid of that story when I was little. I had 2 books, and one was of, Mickey Mouse, and he became the
Okay.
sorceress apprentice, I think it was. I didn't mind that one, it kind of was scary, but then the other one was Maleficent,
Yeah.
and the dragon in that one, I didn't read that much.
Well, it's
Yeah.
less scary when it's told from her perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not as much of a monster as the what Sleeping Beauty side of the story kind of thing. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so she is my
So it's
favorite.
like hurt people, hurt people. Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Ah,
All right.
there. That's the story. um,
So when are you gonna go on your murderous rampage?
Grandma, we can't talk about that
If
here.
if that's the logic.
Listen,
Just kidding.
an eye for an
Oh,
eye. That's how I live
goodness
my
sake.
life. But I
Well,
think
go ahead.
I was gonna say the most scariest villain from I'm gonna do a male villain. It was the Hunchback of Notre Dame for me. I don't know if you ever watched that movie.
I was just, my kids were very little when that came out, I believe. And so we did watch it, but it wasn't of much interest to them. I think they were too
Okay.
young and I was too old. So I do know the story somewhat, but I just don't recall
Well,
who was the villain.
oh,
I
I
don't
don't know
recall.
his name, but he was such a skeleton-like figure where it was
Oh,
like he's so
okay.
skinny and his like face is kind of pressed in almost, and he was
Right.
just so mean and cruel. And I think what really looking back, is he was another human. You know, he wasn't an octopus, he wasn't a dragon, he wasn't, you know,
Oh, okay. So he was a human being and he could be that nasty. Is that what you
yeah,
mean? That's what
I think
scared you?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
and yeah, that's all.
Well, okay, so in politics, guess who's the villain?
Nancy Pelosi. I don't.
Nancy Pelosi?
I don't. I,
Barack
Hill.
Obama.
Barack Obama. Well,
No,
just
no.
kidding.
We know who is. So we'll just skip over that because we don't even want to give him
Yeah, let's
any
put up
tone
a
whatsoever.
wall and skip
Yeah.
over it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put up a wall like he
Oh,
did, or tried to, but didn't put it up, but told everybody he was going to. That guy.
okay, you know what though? I don't know if you've seen the debate that happened.
I did not watch it. Was it bad? Did you watch?
I seen clips of it, and all I
Ugh,
thought to myself
I
was,
heard.
why are these two the people that they were
Yeah,
voting
even
for?
that's what I said too. I don't I think okay, first of all, the person President Biden, who is president now, he's almost 80, right? He
Yeah.
walks, talks, looks like an 80-year-old man. Actually, he's probably in a little better shape than that, but I think he is, like people are saying that he's kind of losing his faculties, and apparently on the debate that was apparent. I don't know. Um, but then you have this other guy. Okay, so Biden at least has his entire life has been devoted to politics. That's where he started, that's where he's ending. This other guy who was the president and lost, who says he didn't lose but did, now running again, has no background in politics whatsoever. He's a
Who's also
narcissistic,
convicted felon. You left that
convicted
out.
felon. Like there's just like he actually was he lost in the lawsuit against him for molesting a woman or raping a woman. He lost that, so he's um, guilty of that, or however I think it was a civil suit. So anyway, he has a long list of issues, and then you look at them both and you think, why don't they have an age cap? Not only on them, because that would immediately eliminate both of them, not only on them, but on the Supreme Court judges that are in right now, that are making all these decisions on abortion because they're far right and all this other stuff. Half of them are over the age of 70. Of course, they're not going to agree with abortion. They were born before Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Get
Listen,
rid of them.
you
Like, you
can't
should
say
have to
shit.
retire.
I'm just
Like,
kidding.
they should have to retire.
Oh,
65. You know what? Like, a young person, even in the Senate, again, they don't have to retire. You've got people in the Senate that are over 70, 75. Some people are actually have Alzheimer's, have dementia. They don't actually have to show up, except for votes here and there. So they wheel them in, get whatever vote they're doing, and wheel them back out again. Stop it.
I don't.
Retire. Go enjoy your life.
I just don't know why we can't pick more suitable candidates. And I don't really care about the age thing. Well, I do. I think there should be a cap because
Oh, I
you
do. I
you could
do.
you could a wind could come by and all the
Not
dust
only
would fly from them. But
right, and the other thing is you have to think that so if Biden or Trump's not much younger than him. I think like 2 years, and he eats horribly and he's fat. Let's face it. At least Biden exercises and is in better shape. So the odds are in the next 4 years, the possibility of either one of them dying is great. So what does that do if a president dies in the middle of his term? That throws the entire country into chaos. The vice president would take over, but is that vice president capable? Hopefully. Does that invite other countries to attack or start something, while we're dealing with that? Like they shouldn't be putting the country in that kind of peril. That's what I think.
I just want to know why they're the heads of their party. Like why I just
Well, I think Biden, I have to say, I do say this. The man has been in politics his entire life. He has been in that party his entire life. He didn't always look or sound the way he does now. He's been a good man. He's been a man who's pushed forward many, many good things in his career. So, and the ultimate goal of that career is to become president, unlike the other one who has never worked in politics, just swept that job right out from under a woman, as we recall last election, a woman who's spent her entire life as a career. He just took that away and has no experience whatsoever. So I think what we would prefer really is to have two people up there under the age of 65 with experience in their jobs. Is that so much to ask for?
apparently so. But I think we
Apparently.
did get off the topic a little
Right,
bit
where are
about
we? Here
villains.
we are. You know what? We're going to do a government thing, and man,
Yeah.
it's just going to take 5 hours. So no, we didn't get off the topic because there is one villain there, and
Oh.
I know which one it is. Okay.
Well, I think other people say the other one's a villain too.
Oh, I
So,
don't think so. I think he's
well,
just struggling with his
well,
age.
what about our politics and our Canadian government?
Okay, so I don't see a real villain. I see someone I don't agree with um
Okay.
so much, but I also see another person who's not doing what they said they would do
That's true.
while there. So I don't know, and that's a hard one for me.
Okay.
It is because I don't see as either as villains. I really don't. I think our politics is much more controlled and a little less
Yeah.
insane. And I think our both candidates are young and both have experience. Both are there, and I don't think either. I hope that's the only thing with one of them that I don't agree with. There's been little things happening with his party that he stayed silent on that I don't like. And that's on women's issues, especially. I don't like that. And when somebody stays silent to me, that's like watching a crime and not doing anything. You may not be
Yeah.
actually committing the crime, but you're just standing there.
Yeah.
So, there's been some stuff with that, like even with the trucker, whatever that thing
Convoy.
was in Ottawa. He didn't say he agreed with it, but he didn't say anything type thing. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
finding that difficult. Um, Not that it's bad to protest, but it is bad to sit in somewhere and ruin other Canadians' lives or try to. That's all I didn't like about it. So anyway, I just don't see there's two villains in that scenario. I see two people with very different opinions.
Okay, now do you have a villain in your life? That takes the joy out of living sometimes. um, anyone?
Oh,
Next
um,
question.
ne- I'm just kidding. Do I have one in my life? I don't think so now. I think I may have in the past. I think I've sort of closed the door on
Yeah.
some people, some things. So, but right now, just somebody who I don't want to exist or be around me or what. No, I don't have anyone like that. But that's the joy of being my age.
Now,
But
I don't think I have
that
a
could
villain.
happen in work, like in your work
Mhm.
life, and it's just the way my work is set up. I don't see or cavort with my coworkers, so I don't really know anyone, and we're just on a superficial, happy teams level, knowing each other. So I don't have anyone there, and I did have. Okay, do you want to hear a story?
Yeah, let's hear.
Okay,
Let's hear it.
I had someone at work who did not speak to me for 7 years, who I sat beside. 7.
Well, that
Now,
doesn't sound
part
like
of
a
that,
villain. That sounds like a
okay,
hero.
well,
I'm just
she
kidding.
well, she started it. I didn't understand why, and I still don't understand what happened. And I tried to, I talked her to, did everything you're supposed to do, because I wasn't sure had I offended her. But she had done this, so it was a history of doing this. I just didn't know because I had just started working there. We had became what I thought was friends and hanging out like lunches and whatever. And all of a sudden one day she just stopped talking to me. And I didn't know, but afterwards everyone in the office said she had done that at some time or another to them. What I couldn't understand is why they still talk to her after her doing that. Anyway, I went through the whole like, can we talk about this? Did I do something? If I did, I'm not aware of it, but I apologize if you took it wrong. Nothing worked.
Damn.
And then it was just misery for like 4 of those 7 or 8 years. And then I finally just went, you know what? Fuck you. And I thought, if you don't want to talk to me, I am never, ever, ever going to speak to you ever again. And I never did. She tried to talk to me. I just, mm-mm. Everybody else
Damn.
kissed her ass. And I was like, no, no way. You can only, like, 4 years is pushing just a little bit too far. Don't you agree?
I would say 6 months would be pushing
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
exactly. 4 years of putting up with it and
yeah.
trying here and there to open up conversation, being ignored, being whatever. Yeah, I was just like, okay, lady. You crazy, me not.
I felt the same way when I worked at the LCBO, and this other gay guy, was my villain. He literally, so I had no clue what made him so mad at me this whole time, and this whole time I had no clue why he wouldn't talk to me. Why he was always bitchy when I asked him a question or something,
Yeah,
and he was just always bitchy. Well, towards the end of my what's that called? Because I worked during the summer. The end of my
tenure.
term, no,
Yeah.
well, yeah, the end of my
Okay.
working contract or whatever. I guess he told the security guard one day that he wanted to punch me in the face. Yeah, I know. And so the security guard told me, and so I obviously told the manager or whatever. So that led to a conversation between the manager, him, and myself. And I was like, "What's your problem?" And he
Mhm.
goes, when you started working here, I said hi to you one day and you didn't say hi back and you didn't even acknowledge me. And I was like,
Did you
when I,
say, "Well, maybe I didn't hear you,"
I,
like,
I was like, when was
people are
this?
so crazy.
4 months ago at the start. And keep in mind, this was COVID. So we all had masks on. We had face shields. He
So
said,
maybe you did.
oh, well, he said, you just started your shift, you just counted your till, and you were coming out of your office to go set up your cash register. So I'm like, so I was focused on, like, the cash I just counted and walking to my cash register to put in. Meanwhile, like, you're trying to say hi to me. I'm sorry I didn't hear you. And that was literally it. That was the reason why he was so miserable the whole time, why he was so
But you
frustrated.
actually know that that's not true, right? He had to come up with some reason for it.
Well, I have like I literally, Grandma.
I
I
think that
literally,
people that are like that are just like that. I think that woman, because she obviously had a history of it with everyone else, so it wasn't
yeah,
new. She just had to come up. Her excuse was that our boss had come because we sat in a pool like three people in a row, and our boss had come out, started talking, and I said, "Oh, what's that, Sonny?" Like because I couldn't hear, making fun of myself.
yeah.
That was her reasoning for not speaking to me. I was like, "Well, I was making fun of myself. Like, I wasn't talking about you. What are you talking about?" I mean, 0 sense. 0. And then after she said that, carried on not to talk to me for another 3.5 years.
So I have my own personal rule now, which is if something upsets me or like I know I'm gonna fester and hold on to this kind of thing, I
Mhm.
just pull the person aside and have a conversation about them, which
Right.
like so it's squashed, and they can either say, you're fucking stupid, you're dumb, and whatever. But at least there's like they know I'm upset or I'm frustrated or I'm irritated about something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Literally, it's the best thing ever. It squashes so much drama. I haven't had that reaction of saying fuck you, whatever. I've always had squash ever since I started that.
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing with this lady. I'm not good with confrontation. I don't like
Hmm.
it. Better at it now than was then.
Yeah,
And even I decided, like, this workplace environment, like, I'm pretty sure she was trying to get me to quit, which she was very close to doing. So that's when I pulled her aside because, like, I didn't want to quit.
yeah,
And I didn't understand what had happened, and, I thought, "Well, let's talk about it, maybe that'll whatever." And that was the excuse she gave me, and then continued for another 4 years or 3.5 years until I decided, "Okay, you wanna play this? Let's play it." And the day I walked out and said goodbye to everyone but her. Oh, yeah, there was no coming back from that. I won't do that.
damn.
You push me to a point and then it's like, I'm sorry. Like there's very few people that can stay in this realm of that. I don't like it. I don't mind having a little upset here and there. I
Yeah,
don't mind that, but like you said, I like to, okay, if we have to, let's talk about it, get it over with and move on. I
yeah.
don't like being in that constantly. And I
Mhm.
won't be. I'll just leave it. I just won't be there. I'll be like, "Bye." You'll be fighting with yourself.
Well,
So
unfortunately, that wasn't how my fairy tale story got resolved at the LCBO. Because since he was a permanent full time
oh,
worker,
no.
he they let him stay at the store and instead moved me to a different store because in my contract it says they can move me for any time, whatever. And I paid
Oh,
union dues, so I called the union up and they said this is a real unfortunate situation. However, we can't do anything. And I was
he
like,
just
John, why?
he was just, like, thinking, "Oh,
Oh,
you're taking his, sunshine or something."
oh
I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe
Oh,
that's what it was. Like, his you
I
know what
don't.
I mean? His
It was.
personality was just, "I can't have someone else here,
It was
taking up
this.
my space."
It was the stupidest thing ever, and I was just like, fuck it. So they moved me to a different store, and I put in my notice because it was so far away from me. I
Oh
was,
yeah.
and so I was like, okay, I'll just enjoy the rest of my summer, like the 3 weeks.
At least
I
you
like,
get paid good.
yeah, well, I
Yeah.
had 3 weeks left, so I put in my 2 weeks notice or whatever. And the new store was like, oh, why? Like,
Mm.
they just moved you. Why are you putting your 2 weeks notice or whatever? Because they had to trade somebody for me. And I said, I
Mm.
don't know what they're talking about. I put in my 2 weeks at the old store and they just transferred me. And they're like, and I was like, well, if they get to be the villain, so can I. Like, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I put in
Whatever.
my 2 weeks a week
Oh, that's
ago
a
to
good
them.
good one.
And so
Um,
yeah, I got a great reference from that manager at the other store because for the week
Great.
he was like, "You were a great worker." I said, "Thank you,
Yeah.
sir."
That's a good question though. Have you made someone a villain who's not in your life? I guess there you have.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a
I'm
dick. I've been a prick, a dick.
well, you've been a villain.
I've been a villain. I have honestly. Sometimes I just have to say something, and like I don't need to. I fight other people's battles sometimes, especially in
Mm,
university. Oh, I'll be a villain for sure, 100%. If I feel like
mm.
you're doing me wrong, oh, I'll be the villain. Like fuck you.
Seems like you revel in that a little
You know
bit.
what? I'm not gonna call it villain. I'm gonna call it justice. Sweet
Okay.
justice.
All
Like,
right. Sweet
oh,
justice.
justice.
I hope I haven't been a villain. I really hope not. I probably have in someone's mind, and I hate that. I don't like that. I don't even like the thought of that, but I'm sure I have been.
Yeah,
Um,
I can see
I
that.
don't know though. I haven't went out and actually tried to though.
I bet some people think of you as a see you next Tuesday type of gal, you know?
I bet you. I
I
don't
bet
like that.
you.
I don't like it.
I love it.
You would, Mr.
What?
Villain.
Actually, oh my god. I want to say, okay, someone on, the Grinder, gay dating app, so,
Hmm.
or hookup app, whatever, for sex. Someone messaged me over there, and the first thing he says, I've never talked to this man before in my life, blank profile picture. He goes, I wish I had your confidence. And I said,
Oh,
what?
wonderful.
Well, I just said, what is that supposed to mean? Because I had no clue, right? I was thinking
Mm,
maybe because I'm like overweight and I smile in my pictures. I don't know. I went straight to negative. And
mm.
then he sent message after message after message saying how he's a handsome guy, but he just doesn't have all this confidence or whatever. And he wished he had a real friend. And I said, dude, I'm sorry. I am not a sympathy person. I said, you should really get some help.
God, you're the worst.
And he blocked me. But I said, listen, I'm not here to hold your hand. And I didn't know what he meant. And I asked him, and he just said, I wish I had your confidence. And
Oh, you're definitely the villain in that situation.
I said,
Just saying.
listen, I, I'm not holding your hand. I'm not your therapist. I was going to give him the hotline number, for
Oh my God.
mental health.
Damon.
Well, I was being, I thought I was going to be sincere in that moment, but I thought that's a step too far. I just said, I think you need help. And then he blocked me. Am I the villain?
Yes. Yes, you are completely in that situation. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to make you feel better about it. I know often I do, but in this moment, you are the villain.
Yeah, well, I thought to myself, I handhold too many people. And I said, I don't even know you. I don't know what you look like. And you're reaching out. Listen, I'm all kumbaya with a whole bunch of people.
And your kumbaya has run out.
Listen,
You
my
just
prayer
cannot.
circle has gone. I dropped the weight. I said,
Oh,
let
oh
the
my God,
cards
that's
fall
hilarious.
where they may.
Well, I'm sorry if that person is listening. He's
I don't
just,
think they are.
you can call
Listen.
grandma.
You, uh,
I'll listen. I'll boost your confidence.
oh, I'm glad you will.
Yeah. Oh, now you're all jealous.
No, I'm just shocked.
Okay,
Okay.
villains.
Yeah.
Where are we at now?
Well, I think we went through who our favorite villains were, who we had as villains. Were we the villain? Um, mm, oh, politic villains. I think that's
Hmm.
good. I think that's
Yeah,
good.
I think we've covered the villain issue, and I suggest that everybody not be a villain unless you are Dexter, and then I will give you a pass for that. I will, only
Oh,
because he is killing bad people. Like I mean, really bad people. They weren't like he sought out like really terrible people.
okay. Well, I had the same philosophy in my university when people would ask stupid questions, and I'm like,
I might just kill you.
no, sorry, not kill. I didn't kill them. I just thought I gotta
What?
put a bitch in their place,
Excuse
you know?
me.
I'd be like, that was stupid, you know?
Oh,
I
Damon.
didn't say that. I just was like,
Oh.
really? Really? Really, girl? Anywho. Um, so a question for our audience members. Have you ever been a villain?
Ooh.
Think about that. Okay. Now thanks for tuning in to Spill the Tea with Damen B, and we hope you have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, I'm your host, Damen B, and I hope you enjoyed spilling the tea with me.